It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Cars are whizzing by as you shake the can in your hand. You quickly write your name in an elaborate style you've worked on for weeks, and then disappear into the night. Today I'll be describing the history, styles, and punishments associated with graffiti. After being involved with graffiti and having friends involved with graffiti, I've learned the vocabulary and mindset behind the writing on the wall. We all see it, from scratches on windows to freeways with colorful murals, and even trains. Graffiti is everywhere. Today I'll describe the history, styles, and punishments one can receive for participating in this culture. First, the origins of modern-day graffiti. The first writers began in mid to late 60s with Cornbread and Cool Earl, who wrote their names all over Philadelphia. Soon after, in 1971, the New York Times published an article on Taki 183, who created his name from a nickname and the street number where he lived. Writers quickly began using the subway systems in New York so their names would reach other boroughs and more people. Tags soon became stylized to further distinguish oneself from others. Soon after, writers began to create styles such as block letters, bubble letters, and wild styles. Crews of writers began to form, and competition became stronger during the 80s. With the addition of larger tags, New York City officials began removing graffiti known as buffing. This either influenced the writer to continue writing or quit. After the movie Star Wars by Tony Silver and Henry Chiffon was released, the graffiti culture spread to other areas and other countries. Soon freight trains became the new canvases as they would travel throughout the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Freeways and walls everywhere would become the targets of writers that would hit any and every surface it could. Second, I would like to describe the tools and styles used by graffiti artists. First is the simple tag. Tags are a signature of the writer, usually applied through the use of streakers, mops, spray cans, scribes, and even stickers. A streaker is a marker composed of solidified paint, which can write on smooth surfaces, and you can buy these actually. And smooth surfaces such as windows, electrical boxes, and signs. A mop is a squeezable marker that can produce a squeezable marker filled with ink or paint, usually made of a mixture of inks or paint. These inks can produce drippy tags, such as the one seen here, and can be harder to buff than the usual streaker or tag. Spray cans can produce simple tags, with the cap switched on. For the stock cap, you can produce flares, which is the fading from top to bottom of the letters, and these caps can be used to gain wider or skinnier lines than normally produced by the can. They're also used for filling in quicker. Scribes are a pencil-like sharp instrument or rock used to scratch glass. Scribes generally last years and can only be removed by replacing the window. Stickers can also be used by either writing or printing out the name of the writer for the easiest, quickest way of putting your name out. Second is the throw-up or throwing. These are applied to a wall with use of spray paint. A throw-up usually has 1 to 2 colors and can be applied in about 3 minutes or less. Larger, more stylized than tags, throw-ups demonstrate speed and style. Throw-ups can be used to cover up toys or an inexperienced writer, or if the writer has beef or is feuding with another writer, a form of disrespect is going over their work with your throw-up. Third is the piece or wild style, which is a multicolored design with connecting or unique takes on letters. Often pieces are harder are harder for the public to read but can be considered complex works of art. Pieces take practice and skill as well as time. Pieces, depending on the size and complexity, may take up to 30 minutes or even days at a time. Therefore, the chosen spot must be less trafficked. Finally, I would like to explain the punishment involved in the act of graffiti. The act of graffiti defaces buildings and the city in general. The time and cost of cleaning graffiti can be immense. In 2007, graffiti removal cost Los Angeles County $30 million, according to the LA Criminal Defense Law. Getting caught can result in a number of punishments. Offenders can be given community service in which they clean up graffiti. Riders can also pay restitution for each square foot covered. Additionally, misdemeanor and felony charges may be issued along with prison terms. Offenders will be put on probation that follow graffiti terms in which they can be arrested if found in possession of any marking or tagging utensil or if in association with any other riders. Today I've informed you of the history, styles, and punishments involved in graffiti. So next time you see the writing on the wall, pay attention and hopefully you can identify the style, reasoning, or risk behind it.
CJ, what did you think?
In the beginning, it kind of seemed like he was like kind of low. I could barely hear him. Like I guess his heart wasn't in it. But after that, he picked it up and he described in the visuals like what type of style they are. I thought that was pretty neat with the flares and his presentation was pretty creased. It was cool, like Earl. Yeah, it was alright.
All right. The visualization is attention device is okay. The topic is clearly identified. Your thesis and preview seem to run together, and we get them twice, so that was a little awkward. The supporting materials, it sounds like you've done some research on this, got background information. You need to cite that information a little bit more. So I think there's research in the subject matter, but it's not always explained where it comes from. Some of it, I hope, is not coming from personal experience, you know. But hope springs eternal anyway. It's pretty well organized for the main points. In the internal sections of each point, it did seem a little bit random, like when you started listing the different types of equipment or the descriptions. I just think that there needs to be some sort of internal structure also. The visuals are okay. At one point it seemed like I was getting a primer on the different kinds of tools. And I thought it would make more sense, for instance, to like you had the flare thing, and you're talking about how they get that, and I'm still not clear on it, and I'd like some visualization on that rather than just, you know, the picture is good, but the picture of the caps, I'm not sure what the heck that gets you. You do. I think you sound a little bored with the topic. It sounds like you're reading it and you're not talking about it because it's something that you're interested in or you know want to discuss. It seems like it's an obligation for you, and I think that you want to be a little bit more enthusiastic about it. And I'd love to hear a persuasive speech down the road from anybody that the penalty for using spray cans for graffiti is that you lose your index finger. So keep that in mind down the road.